Hi, welcome to another amazing book, Summary Daring Greatly. Scarcity, Looking Inside Our Culture of Never Enough. We live in a culture of scarcity, Brown says. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded by messages of lack. Not thin enough, not successful enough, not productive enough. This never enough culture thrives on comparison, shame, and disengagement. Brown identifies three components that fuel scarcity. Shame, the fear of being unworthy of love and belonging. Comparison, constantly measuring ourselves against others. Disengagement, holding back, becoming passive in life, work, and relationships. To combat scarcity, we need to cultivate wholeheartedness, engaging in our lives from a place of worthiness and courage. Debunking the vulnerability myths. There are many myths about vulnerability, and Brown tackles them head-on. Myth number 1, vulnerability is weakness. In reality, vulnerability is our greatest measure of courage. Every act of bravery, love, and creativity involves risk and emotional exposure. Myth number 2, I don't do vulnerability. Everyone is vulnerable. It's part of being human. Pretending you're invulnerable is a defense mechanism. Myth number 3, vulnerability is letting it all hang out. Vulnerability is not oversharing, it's about sharing with people who have earned the right to hear your story. Myth number 4, we can go it alone. Connection is essential to human well-being. Vulnerability builds connection. We must lean into interdependence. Brown emphasizes that vulnerability is not about winning or losing, it's about having the courage to show up when we can't control the outcome. Understanding and combating shame. Shame is the intensely painful feeling that we are unworthy of love and belonging. It thrives in secrecy, silence, and judgment. Brown distinguishes between shame and guilt. Guilt says, I did something bad, while shame says, I am bad. Shame often sounds like, I'm not good enough. Who do you think you are? Brown introduces the idea of shame resilience, our ability to recognize shame, move through it constructively, and come out the other side with greater courage. Shame resilience involves recognizing shame and its triggers, practicing critical awareness, reaching out and speaking shame. Speaking about our experiences with people we trust. When we name shame, it begins to lose its power, the vulnerability armory. To protect ourselves from vulnerability, we develop emotional armor. Brown identifies common forms of armor, foreboding joy. We catastrophize in moments of happiness, thinking something bad is just around the corner. Joy is the most vulnerable emotion we feel because it can be taken away. Antidote. Practice gratitude and lean into joy. Perfectionism. It's not self-improvement. It's a self-destructive belief that if we look and act perfectly, we can avoid shame and judgment. Antidote. Embrace the beauty of imperfection and self-compassion. Numbing. We use food, alcohol, work, shopping, and other distractions to avoid uncomfortable feelings. Antidote. Learn to feel your feelings. Set boundaries and cultivate meaning. Viking or victim. This mindset frames life as a win-lose battle. Either you dominate or you're dominated. Antidote. Practice empathy and connection. Floodlighting. Oversharing in a way that pushes people away rather than creating intimacy. Antidote. Practice boundaries and earn trust. Brown encourages us to recognize and disarm these armors, replacing them with openness and courage. Mind the gap, cultivating wholeheartedness. This chapter explores the disconnect between our values and our actions. Many of us say we value courage, honesty, and vulnerability, but in practice, we often act from fear and shame. Brown urges readers to mind the gap by asking, are you practicing your values or just professing them? Are you showing up in your life, relationships, and work with integrity? Living wholeheartedly means aligning our lives with our deepest values, even when it's uncomfortable. It also means acknowledging where we fall short without shame and recommitting to our values each day. Disruptive engagement, daring in the workplace. Vulnerability and courage are often seen as incompatible with professional settings. Brown challenges that idea and argues that daring leadership requires vulnerability. Key points. People disengage at work when they don't feel seen, valued, or safe. Innovation and creativity demand vulnerability. We must risk failure to create something new. Daring leaders create environments where people can speak honestly without fear of shame. She introduces the Daring Way trademark, a model for courageous leadership built on the pillars of vulnerability, clarity of values, trust, and resilience. Organizations that embrace vulnerability have higher employee engagement, are more adaptable to change, build stronger, more honest teams. Wholehearted parenting, daring to be the adults we want our children to become. Parenting is a vulnerable act. Brown argues that we shouldn't aim to raise perfect children, but to model wholeheartedness ourselves. Wholehearted parenting involves embracing vulnerability and imperfection, letting go of comparison and judgment, teaching children how to feel and express emotion. Brown outlines 10 guideposts for raising wholehearted children. Practice gratitude and joy. Encourage creativity and rest. Set boundaries with empathy. Let go of control and perfectionism. Be present and listen. Encourage play and downtime. Love without conditions. Our children learn most from how we live, not just what we say. Thank you for listening.